Your home is supposed to be your haven. It's your safe space. It should be a joy, and you should feel calm and peace when you are in your home. And it's definitely not supposed to feel like just another stressor on an already overflowing to-do list. But for way too many moms, the laundry piles just keep getting higher, the dishes are literally never done, and they're tired of being tired, and they are sick of being behind on all the things. If this sounds familiar, then it's also possible that you have tried every checklist and routine out on the interwebs, and it's helped exactly zero. I hear over and over again that moms want to give their best to their family and their kids, but they can't because they are so stressed and overwhelmed by their homes. Now, back in the day, moms used to pass on this information for how to manage their homes to their daughters, and then those daughters would pass it on to their daughters. But it seems like in the past few generations, there has been a kind of disconnect in the knowledge transfer that goes along with running homes. Now, some people may look at this as a good thing. It's great that women are no longer being forced to just manage the home all the time. But for those of us that do still want to run our homes efficiently and well, this knowledge gap is just really frustrating and has made it very stressful for moms who need it more than ever. Now you need to be able to run your home more easily because you have less time to do it in. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the why you want to streamline your home and what it can do for you as a mom. Now, in the last video that I did, I talked about what a streamlined home is, so I'm not going to get into that again. If you want to, you can check out that video and then come back here if you aren't quite sure what I'm talking about. But for those of you that are ready to dive into this video, I want you to close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to imagine what it would be like to wake up in a home that feels calm and easy to clean. Now, this may seem crazy and just completely unattainable to any mom with young children, but this is actually the first reason that you should consider streamlining your home. It will help you feel so calm and confident and just like you are in control of managing your home, and it will actually keep you from becoming stressed and overwhelmed by your home. The truth is that if your home isn't peaceful, nothing else in your life will be either. And not having a clean and tidy home might actually be costing you more than you realize. There's a lot of research that shows that clutter will make you feel stressed, anxious, and even depressed. An example of this is found in a 2009 study. They found that mothers who lived in cluttered environments had a higher level of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, than mothers who had less things in their house. Now, this next statistic here I found actually quite shocking, and it was that the visual distraction of clutter can actually lead to cognitive overload, and it can decrease our working memory. This is something I know so many moms struggle with, right? We call it mom brain or pregnancy brain, and I know my friends and I often joke that, it just never comes back after the second or third or fourth kid. You just always have mom brain or pregnancy brain after that. But can you imagine that our environments can actually make that even worse? It can decrease your memory even further. And I know that's not something that I would like to have decreased. I need every bit of memory that I can have. Another example is in 2011, neuroscience researchers actually found that decreasing clutter from the home increased moms' abilities to focus, process information, and it increased their productivity. All things that I'm pretty sure all of us would want. So decreasing clutter is not just something that makes it easier to clean, which it does, and we will get into that in a minute, but it is also so important for increasing the good things that we want for our mental health, and it also decreases the bad things that we don't want for our mental health. I also found this study very interesting because I was not expecting it when I started looking into some of these studies, but a disorganized and messy kitchen actually encouraged participants to eat more cookies if they had a disorganized kitchen. I didn't really think that clutter would affect our physical health as much, but some studies are showing that it actually can do that as well. And they have even found that people with extremely messy environments, think hoarder status here, but they actually were 77% more likely to be obese as well. So clutter can affect our mental health, and it also can affect our physical health. And another area that clutter affects is our wallets. One study found that Americans on average have about $7,000 worth of unused stuff in their house. $7,000. What could you do with $7,000 right now? I could think of multiple things I would like to do with $7,000. So if you have a very cluttered house, getting rid of that clutter, selling off the clutter can actually increase your income a little bit in the short term, and it will keep you from overspending in the long term because you won't want to return to that cluttered state. Now, the next big reason that I have for why you should streamline your home is actually why I streamlined my home in the first place. I wanted more time. And I want to break down for you guys where I was at before I streamlined my home with how much time I was spending managing things and how much time I am spending now. So I'm going to put a graphic on the screen and you guys can kind of follow along with me as I go through this. Before I streamlined my home, I was spending about an hour a week meal planning because I was doing weekly meal planning. Now that I have a set it and forget it meal plan, I spend 0 hours per week. I spend about 3 hours per year because I do like to reset my meal plan once a year. But honestly, once people get a set it and forget it meal plan in place, you never have to meal plan again if you don't want to. Before I streamlined, I was spending about 6 hours cleaning per week. Now I spend about 3 hours on cleaning tasks per week. Before I streamlined, I was spending about 2 hours folding laundry, and now I spend about 1.5 hours folding laundry. So this wasn't a huge decrease because our laundry has actually increased. We have more people in our house now, but because I have found ways to simplify the laundry process and also to speed up how quickly I can fold, it still has decreased the amount of time I spend on laundry overall. And I will link videos to my laundry system and how to get your laundry done quickly in the cards and in the description down below if you want to check that out. I used to spend about 2.5 hours a week managing processes. And what I mean by this is when I didn't have a clear plan every week, I would have to figure out the plan before I could do the thing, right? If I didn't have a clear weekly cleaning schedule before, I would have to decide every day, okay, what needs to be done? And I would kind of have to assess and take the time to make the decision and figure that out and tell the kids what chores I needed them to do. Now that I have it all automated, I still have to spend some time, but it's only about an hour a week. The kids are very much independent with their chores because we have been doing it so long, and it saves me a ton of time in managing this. Before I completely decluttered, I was spending about 2.5 hours picking up each week. Now, like I've said before, my house wasn't very cluttered before I started streamlining. So a lot of moms may be spending a lot more than that. But now that I have completely decluttered, I spend about an hour and a half picking up clutter every week. I do still have 3 kids and my youngest is just now 3, so there are toys around and those do still have to be picked up. But I still save a significant amount of time by not having too many toys that I have to pick up, and I don't really have to do much cleaning inside their rooms now that I have taught them how to manage their room through the routines and chores. So if you were keeping track, that was 14 hours a week that I was spending managing my home, and now it is about 7 hours a week. Now, one thing I am missing from this list is my kitchen cleaning routine. I don't know exactly how long I was spending on the kitchen and how long I'm spending now because that does vary, right? If you are doing complicated meals, it's going to take longer. If you do an easy meal, it's going to take less time to clean up and cook. So it varies a lot from day to day. And I don't know that the amount of time saved by organizing my kitchen cleaning better is enough to really quantify it. So that is one thing that I don't have on here, but I do think having the specific order that I use for cleaning my kitchen does save some time, just because again, I'm not having to make the decisions every time I'm cleaning of what to do next. I just follow the routine, follow the order, and it gets done much more quickly. So just to summarize, the 4 reasons that you want to streamline your home are: clutter affects your mental health, it can affect your physical health, it can affect your financial health, and of course it can affect your time. And when you are able to streamline the 4 pillars that we talked about in the last video, or the 4 puzzle pieces depending on how you want to look at it, your life will be better in all of those areas. I love this C.S. Lewis quote where he says, "The homemaker has the ultimate career. All other careers exist for one purpose, and that is to support the ultimate career." And I think a lot of times that is lost in today's society. We feel like, oh, I'm just a homemaker, or I do my other job the rest of the week, and then, oh, now I have to do this homemaker stuff. And I think when our home is streamlined and we can manage our home effectively, it enables us to think more positively about about making our home this lovely haven that we want it to be, and it makes it so we can enjoy our families and our homes to the fullest. If you are interested in streamlining your home, check out my free workshop called Create Your Streamlining Strategy, and in that workshop I walk you through the exact blueprint that I use in my program to help students streamline their homes quickly. Alright guys, that's all I had for this video. Be sure to subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it if you would like to catch that next video on how to start streamlining your home.